Hey guys, Jim here from Creative Flame Podcast Network. August the 18th. This is a really, really good question. And honestly, I want to know, anybody listening to this, please comment, email, Facebook, Twitter, text, whatever. Put your answer out there and link somebody with hashtag RPGaDAY, because I want to know who's played what RPGs the most in their life. So, August the 18th, which RPG have you played the most in your life? Oddly enough, most folks would think I'd say Dungeons & Dragons, which is my close second. Honestly, the RPG that I've played the most in my life would be Rifts from Palladium books. I used to play that game all through high school. I mean, it was in its heyday. We had a game that went for literally 2 decades of Rifts. And granted, a lot of people have a hard time with the game mechanics. It's a little on the clunky side, which works really well for games like Rifts and Heroes Unlimited, though, if you think about it. But we had such a great job because the story behind Rifts is there's an apocalypse that releases magic, and it's got this beautiful high technology, high magic, high psionics in a desolated, destroyed world, which is great. I mean, you can go to Japan and have tech ninjas or mystic ninjas. You can go back to America where the coalition of humanity has basically become a bunch of Nazis that have tried to take over the world for humans first. And they want to make sure they put anything that's not human down. Now, as the series has gone on over 30 plus years, they've actually adapted that, the coalition in their newest book, Heroes of Humanity. They've actually taken a softer, gentler approach to dimensional beings that look human or mostly human. That, you know what, let's live and let live, but let's make sure we shoot the evil demons in the face because, they've got this whole issue with the demons and devils attacking en masse on North America, which has been the next big wave of the 7 mythical swarms of evil and darkness that will attack North America. Which, if you ever get a chance, read the Rifts books. If you're playing Savage Rifts right now, please, 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 please go to Palladium Books and look at the stuff that they've got on sale or on Drive-Thru RPG for the PDFs. The story fluff alone is worth buying any one of those books. And by the way, the books are still ridiculously cheap compared to anything else out there. I mean, I'll pick up this copy of Force and Destiny, Disciples of Harmony. It's a $40 book. And it tops out at 100 pages. When it came to the Rifts books, they usually gave you 160 to 300 pages for $20. And I don't know how Siambada does it, but he still keeps the prices around that. So if you like playing Savage Rifts, buy the other books. It's super, super easy to convert the original Palladium Rifts books over to Savage Worlds rules. Super easy. And there's even some PDFs on Drive-Thru RPG to walk you through it if you're having a hard time doing it. Hey, I mean, Rifts is a great game system that you can make it as kitchen sinky as you want or as pared down specific as you want. Like when I used to GM my games of Rifts, I would literally tell my players what OCCs and RCCs are allowed in the story. So that way they know coming into it, okay, we're playing a coalition group. Hey, we explore the eastern seaside. Great. Great time was had by cool little adventure. Got to meet a whole bunch of new players with that adventure. And they realized that, hey, not everybody needs to be shot. And they actually proved that they were heroes of humanity. Or we did a game where we were all MDC creatures that basically got hired as now mind you, this was 20 years ago, a Suicide Squad style group, because by the way, yes, I used to read the comic book for Suicide Squad back then, were hired as mercenary troubleshooters where their boss would open a dimensional portal, throw them through, and basically say, I'll open it when you get the MacGuffin, or I'll open it when you kill the target, or I'll open it when you rescue the princess. And it was a family game, so my nieces and nephews played in it, and oh my god, that game went so horrible, because they were all evil MDC supernatural creatures. So whenever they had the chance, they would take a stop, torture each other, and you regenerate as an MDC creature from almost everything. Almost. And then they would come back and basically divvy up the spoils. It's like we took one of our adventures where they were dropped off in Rifts, Africa, which is a not very friendly place, especially with the Horsemen of the Apocalypse there, which, by the way, Rifts, Africa is an amazing book just to read the storyline of what in the supernatural world, the aspects of death, pestilence, war, Oh, you gotta look in Rift's Africa at the picture of War on his war beast. It is an amazing piece of artwork. I'll have to see in the cover notes if I can throw it out there on the website, just so you can see how beautiful War looks on his mount. Because Siembada's had over the years some great artists. So I would have to say for August the 18th, I'm probably like rambling on here. But, this is what happens when you wait till midnight to record. August the 18th, which RPG have you played the most in your life? And I've got to say, Rifts from Palladium Books. All right, guys. Thank you for listening.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion to Ragnarok story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And feel free to enjoy our other shows, such as D&D Journey of the 5th Edition and Scion Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion hero to Ragnarok story. Thank you for listening.